How do you find people to play Dungeons and Dragons with? Maybe you are just a beginner, just getting started with tabletop role-playing games, or maybe you played years ago and are looking to get back into D&D. Or maybe you've been in the hobby for a while, but conflicting schedules or maybe play styles have got you looking for a new group. Or maybe you've already got a steady game and it's going so great that you're looking to get some more game sessions into your life. Well, I have good news for you. It has never been easier to connect with like-minded people and get a game of Dungeons and Dragons or any tabletop role-playing game going. In this video, I'm going to quickly go over 5 different ways to find a game, and then we're going to talk about one key aspect to all of this that most videos like this barely mention, and it's no secret, but a lot of people just don't realize how pivotal it can be. Now, you might be thinking, who the hell is this guy? Well, if we haven't met yet, I am Ryan Doyle, and this is the Verity Table. Last week, I played 3 nights in a row with 3 different groups of people. If I wanted to, I could have probably played the other 5 days as well. Well, I did want to, but unfortunately, I do have to spend some time not playing games. Life's all about balance. My Tuesday night game has been going strong for months and months now with the same 5 core people and a couple others who come and go. I literally have a waiting list for that game and helped set up 2 other full tables from that pool of people. I could set up a third tomorrow if I had the time and the inclination. So yes, I know how to make games happen, and I'm not trying to brag here. In fact, I don't want you to think that I am special at all. I am relatively new to the hobby. I wasn't playing in Gary Gygax's basement 45 years ago. I wasn't even playing 10 years ago, and I'm not some incredible dungeon master. I like to think I'm pretty good. My players have fun and keep coming back, so that's something, but I don't have some like secret sauce that you are lacking. And it's not because I just like stumbled into people who are already playing D&D. I just moved to a new city in the middle of a global pandemic as a late 30s introvert with a dash of the social anxiety, okay? I did it, and so can you. Let's go. The first place I would start looking for folks to play D&D with would be the people I already know. Friends, family, coworkers. Start asking around, and you might be surprised who would be down. Just drop it into casual conversation, post it on social media, start walking around with a D20 on your shirt and see what kind of response you get. Or, a dope dragon. My dad got me this. Do you like it? Hi, Dad. Put the word out, and I think you'll find everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. You might be surprised and delighted by the Kevin Bacon game level of connections you can form this way. My wife's brother's friend met a dude playing Xbox Live years ago and now builds in my Thursday night game, and we are great friends. We talk all the time, and his sister-in-law played with us a few times, and she's great too. She might even be joining us on Sunday. Start where you are and cast a wide net. You only need to find 3 to 5 people to get a game going. Say you know 100 people, you can still strike out 95% of the time and still fill a table. But maybe you hear no 100% of the time, or you don't have anybody in your life to play with, and that's a shame, but we can help that with the next 4 entries on this list and make some new connections along the way. Option number 2 is actually the first place I went when I wanted to get back into in-person play after the pandemic and was in a new town where I literally knew nobody but my wife, and our chihuahua was my friendly local game store. Not only do I feel like a kid in a candy shop when I walk into these places, I had a nice long talk with the guy who runs the place about gaming, but also local restaurants and gardening, all sorts of stuff. And Phil introduced me to a few people, helped me get a spot in an ongoing campaign. COVID and the holidays kind of got in the way of that, so it goes. And when I was ready to start my Tuesday night game, he helped me put the word out and set me up with a place to play in the store. The folks I'm playing with are all my friends now, but when I was getting things off the ground, I didn't feel super comfortable inviting a bunch of strangers over to my house. Plus, I've met more and more people there over the past 6 months or so. Sit down at your FLGS with some D&D books, and you will meet some people who are interested in gaming with you. And don't sleep on the knowledge and connections and opportunities waiting down at your nearby brick and mortar small business. Now, I'm lucky enough to live in a medium-sized city, so a quick search on Google Maps gave me like a dozen options within a short driving distance. But I actually checked our old address down in western North Carolina, where our closest neighbors were literally cows, and I was still only 20 minutes away from 4 different game shops. They can be an incredible resource, and I definitely encourage everybody to check out and support your friendly local game store. But if you don't really have one, or that's not an option for you, I've got good news. We live in the future, and they've got this thing called the internet. Maybe you've heard of it. So I could make a whole video on number 3, all the different ways to find a D&D game online. First off, my friendly local game store has a website with an events calendar where people can post games. They've also got a Discord server now. I found a couple of my regular players on another Discord server for gaming in my city, but Reddit, Facebook, Meetup, there are a bunch of different ways where people come to get together, and D&D is very well represented on all of them in my experience. You can even play online. Revolutionary, I know. Virtual tabletops have come a long way, and I think we're about to see like a new jump in the technology. Now, my personal preference is Owlbear Rodeo because of its minimalistic simplicity, but more robust VTTs have support for finding groups as well. I know a lot of people have had success finding games on Roll20. There's a bit of a learning curve for the software, which can multiply the complexity when you're learning a new game, but I've played in 3 different TTRPG systems on Roll20, and once you get the hang of things, it's pretty great. I know some folks prefer Fantasy Grounds, and there's a host of other VTTs out there as well. The main benefit to playing online is that it greatly expands who you can play with. My Thursday night game helps me stay connected to old friends back in New York, and if you want to make new friends to play some games with, however easy it is to take for granted or complain about, the internet is a powerful tool for finding communities of diverse but like-minded individuals. This little YouTube channel has an even smaller Discord server, and on there we've connected people from at least 10 different states and 11 different countries. We are international, baby, and that makes me feel super happy, and I am super grateful for this awesome growing community I get to be a part of. Big thanks to everyone. But maybe you are looking for a more official way to go, and that brings us to number 4, organized play. Wizards of the Coast, the folks who produce Dungeons and Dragons these days, puts on something they call Adventurers League. Technically, they've recently started like subbing it out to another company to organize, but whatever. It seems like it's actually brought in even more support for the program. And in theory, this should be the easiest way to hop into a game and get playing, whether in person or online. The concept is you can take a character through a series of interconnected one-shots or, standalone game sessions that are all part of this one grand narrative that changes every season. It's designed so you can easily have different players and a different dungeon master, even play in a different place, but take your character with you. Now, I'm going to be honest, I actually don't have experience with this side of D&D myself, but if I had no games going already, I would try Adventurers League today. Now, the 5th option on our list is related to organized play, but I thought it deserved its own entry here, and that's conventions. If you've been trying to get a game going, but scheduling has gotten in the way time and again, a convention may be the perfect answer here. Unless there's some global pandemic or something, it won't be canceled at the last minute. If they put up billboards, it's probably going to happen, and we know exactly when and where it's going to happen. We know there's going to be a lot of people there, and we know they're going to be playing D&D. Most convention games are part of Adventurers League, but it's also a great place to find other kinds of games as well, and I bet there will be an explosion of companies showing off their new systems and settings over the next few years. Plus, there's a lot of other cool stuff to see and do at a convention. Okay, so that's 5 great options to explore, but as promised, I'm going to tell you the secret to level up those options and have more opportunities to play Dungeons and Dragons than you even have time in your schedule to devote to gaming. And that secret is become a dungeon master. First of all, it's the best. It's one of my favorite things to do. You should absolutely try it. Second of all, it's a lot less difficult and scary than a lot of people out there seem to think. Most of the videos I put out here are designed to help you start running the game and or become a better DM, so poke around the channel page for a lot of great advice, or check out this video for a great place to start. Up next, if you're ready to take the leap, I'm going to show you how to set up your own game and give you some lessons I've learned along the way on how to make it easier on yourself and keep it going. Thanks so much for watching. Be kind, have fun, and I will see you next time. That was a good one.